you, welcome to Geekism and welcome back to Planet Zoo. We're going to carry on with our Barnyard pack, this sort of mini-series, and apologies for the first bit not recording there. Occasionally my recording software just decides not to like Planet Zoo, and it's really hard to tell, and there's I get a tiny green dot in the corner, and occasionally I'll look over and not see the dot and go, where is the dot? And then I have to go and find the dot. This is a great start to the video. We are building Tamworth pigs today. I have a connection to Tamworth pigs in as much as I used to live near Tamworth, I guess. That was kind of my old stomping ground back in the UK. And they're beautiful. They're lovely. They have like a reddish colour to them. And weirdly, the origin of them is a little bit unknown as well. There's sort of stories that they were brought over from the jungle pigs of Africa, or there's actually a story about the family from Drayton Manor, which is a theme park, so we're sort of tying this into Planet Coaster here as well, brought them over, but it's not really known. But they've been around since about the 1800s, mid 1800s or so. They've actually been sort of classed as a species of domesticated pig. Obviously, at some point they came from boars. That's how this works. We made pigs. We made we made pigs. That sounds weird. We domesticated boars and we called that pig. So this is a domesticated animal. And they're a beautiful red colour. So what I wanted to build here was basically a big old mud pit. Mud, glorious mud. Nothing quite like it for cooling the blood. And I wanted a big mud pit for them to hang out in. Big being the optimal word here. Please don't make the same mistake I did. This is a public service announcement. Put the animals in the thing before you start building it too much. Put a rubbish fence down. Just put a wooden fence down or something. Sorry, there's a few pieces. I was like, oh, volcano pieces. Look, I wonder where they came from. Anyway, as soon as you start working on the animal, get it in there. Look at how big it is, because Tamworth pigs aren't very big. Pigs in general aren't very big, I guess. But I don't know. I had in my head that these were going to be the big fat pigs that hang around in these kind of things. I was basing this very loosely on the pig habitat, pig enclosure. Enclosure or habitat doesn't sound right for pigs. It sounds a bit too ostentatious. But where the pigs live, at the local family farm here in Ontario, it's called Customans. It's like a berry farm, but they have a few animals. And they have this sort of tiered habitat here for the pigs, where it comes down into a pit. The reason it's like that, I think pigs are quite nasty. I think they bite a lot. And people think they're cute, and they are cute, but I think they can be quite hideous. So for that reason, they're either you have to have like a double wall feature so that little kids can't get their hands in, or you do this sort of slightly raised area here. So we have a very slight slope down to the main area there, and then these mud pits, that's what you can see there. And then I've just used you can turn off the terrain caring about that sort of stuff now, and you can just bring the terrain just up a little bit so it covers up the sort of wooden border of these pits. And I feel like I do an okay job at hiding them and making them just look like muddy ground, but you can still kind of see that they're clearly sort of three circles in the ground. But I don't hate it. I'm pretty happy with how they've turned out. I'm quite happy that they sort of get a little bit lost in the terrain here. Foliage wise, keeping it super light. I mean, really, again, this would be a mud pit, much like we did with the chickens the other day. The mud would just be mud. It was simple as that. It would just be mud and dirt. Same with the chickens. Chickens would just peck all of the foliage. The pigs just wouldn't have any. They just roll around in dirt. That's what they want. It's basically a dirt yard. But I feel like we just have to get a little bit in there just to kind of give it a little bit of green, and remember that this is a video game and we're trying to make things that look pretty. Because I think the one I'm thinking of, the pig habitat in Customans, it's just a big old concrete block of dirt. It's basically like a big concrete bathtub that they have then filled with dirt, and there's a little lean-to at the back. So that's what I'm basing the lean-to off here. Everything else is way too ostentatious for the actual thing I'm referencing. Can't find a photograph of it, unfortunately, else I would show you. I'm just pulling it from memory, but it's the sort of place we go to with Xander quite often. We go and pick berries, or they do a good Halloween weekend, so we always go there for Halloween. We usually go and see a Santa or a Christmas, that sort of thing, So I'm usually there 3 or 4 times a year. I always go and hang out with the pigs for a bit. But the pigs there, I don't know what kind of pigs they are, but they are just these huge things that like just don't move, basically. These Tamworth pigs are sprightly in comparison, honestly. At one point here, this is going to become like a lean-to. We put some hay in there for them to sleep, and that's all they have as far as outdoorness goes. They just have this sort of lean-to, and they're happy in that. At one point, one of the pigs actually jumps out and over the wall there and down into the main area. I've never seen a pig move like that in real life. Maybe Tamworth pigs are a little bit more sort of sprightly than others. Maybe, again, it's a game, and they need to have the animals be a little bit more interesting and move around. But yeah, I don't know, man. I felt like the pigs were just going to kind of hang around in the mud all day and wallow, as the song says. But no, they're quite sprightly and they get around a lot. So maybe it's good that we built them a bit of a bigger space, really. But yeah, unfortunately, they do. I'll be honest with you, they get a little lost in this big pit once it's done. But I'm still happy with how it's turned out. Nice to try and get a little bit of terrain variation in here. This isn't the sort of zoo that would have crazy terrain variation. It's basically just going to be farm fields that they've converted here. Just checking how many we can have. It's I start off just putting females in, and we're going to do like a bachelorette group, but they're so small, and I just wonder in a minute. I wonder if the bull is it bull? Is it bull for pig? I don't know. You'll tell me. The male pig was much bigger, and if it was, I was going to change him into a bachelor group. So we put one male in there. Turns out he's not that much bigger, so I just leave him in there with the 4 sows, and lucky guy. Trying to build a small 5-bar gate here. It's okay. The 1 bar just has to go into the ground, unfortunately, but it kind of reads as what it is. And this is basically just to generate a little airlock here, so that at the back here, where the pigs are pretty much at your level, or at least at the level you could get a hand over that wall, we're just creating a little bit of space between you and the animals, because yeah, like I say, they bite, they nasty. So we're gonna get a little bit of space. And then also, whilst I was putting the terrain, the foliage down in the main area, in the main pit, I found this wild hedge that I'd not seen before, and I was obsessed with it, and I wanted to put it everywhere. So I decided to make this sort of hedge road area here, and look at that. Oh man, can you imagine something like that in Planet Coaster, so we didn't have to use the topiary pieces? Oh, if only. But yeah, we sort of fill out the area and then use the smallest piece to kind of give a little bit of height variation and sort of fill in gaps. But quite happy to kind of fill this area with just hedge, hawthorn hedge. Looks great. A little bit of tweaking here just to kind of fill out the custom wall with the little wooden gate there. We have to go super jank here, but I kind of don't mind it. Just like a little bit of subsidence going on. And then here in this airlock, we're going to put down the most important things when looking after pigs, I imagine, which is a shovel and a bucket. So, yeah, and then just there in the area, I wanted to keep it a relatively open slope there rather than having a lot of rock work coming down, but it just looked a little bit too sparse, so we sprinkle in a little bit of rock work there just to kind of take the edge off that sort of big, soft hill there, and there we go. Quick and dirty one today, to be honest. Literally, I have a lot of fun playing around with the animals here, basically using the Barnyard pack to kind of just get my mojo back in Planet Zoo and relearn the pieces and relearn the animals and what have you. So yeah, this one turned out a little big, but otherwise I think it's quite cute. The pigs are cute. Tamworth pigs, look at that. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, you can give us a like. It really does help out the channel. And if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. Until the next one, be good